What's going on, everyone? It's Stephanie Adams with SOS Solutions. If your goal this year is to purchase a house and you are worried about if you're going to qualify, stay tuned, because you may find that there's options out there for you to get qualified maybe you didn't know about. Stay tuned. Let's get the hard stuff off the table. If you've got really bad credit, you're gonna have some trouble getting qualified for a house. So I'll give you two options that you can use before we talk about the third. The first is cash. If you got a lot of cash laying around, or you have a family member who's willing to give you a ton of money so that you can purchase a home, maybe you got it as an inheritance or it's in a trust or something like that, you can buy the house in cash. You don't have to have good credit. You can just be a cash buyer. The second thing that you can do is called owner financing. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know a whole lot about this because I've seen it fail so many times. With owner financing, basically, the owner is the bank. So the person that owns the house is the bank. And so you're going to pay the owner. So people are like, well, that's just renting. No, it's not, because you guys will come up with some sort of agreement as to what your down payment will be, and then they're going to give you a certain time frame that you have to be able to qualify for a traditional mortgage with. So let's say your rent payment is $1,200 a month. You're actually going to pay $1,500 a month because $300 of that is going to go into an escrow account. $1,200 of that will go towards the rent, which obviously helps the owner pay the mortgage. And then you'll have a time frame that will build to. Sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's 2 years. That extra money, that $300, becomes your escrow or your down payment. But you are on a time limit to be able to qualify for the house with your credits. You have to get that correct in that 2-year time frame. If you don't, or whatever you guys agree to, if you don't get it done, you forfeit all of the money that you've put in that escrow account. So that money goes to the owner and you're out of the house. Okay, let's talk credit really quick when it comes to houses. A lot of people think they've got to have this big, huge, beautiful credit score, and guess what? You don't. A lot of my clients that I work with actually don't have amazing credit scores, and in fact, my company was created for people who just want to buy houses, because guess what? You just have a few things to pay or a few things to fix and your score will come up. Your credit score typically needs to be between a 580 and a 640. Now, you're going to hear a lot of a lot of companies that are going to say, hey, we can do it for less than a 580, or they'll say, hey, we can do it for a 580, but those are, depending on the type of loan, those can be really difficult to qualify for. With those, obviously, there's different types of loans, and guys, I'm not a loan officer, although I do think I want to take the test just so that I can make sure I know what I'm talking about. But there are different types of loans depending on your financial situation that you may qualify for. Each one of them has their own stipulations for how you get qualified. So what I will tell you is, if you have a VA loan, that means you've been in the military and you have VA qualifications, it is my absolute favorite loan. There actually is no credit score requirement for a VA loan.
Say what?
However, you can't just walk in with a 400 score and say, hey, I want a VA loan, because the lender's gonna look at you and say, I can't do that. And the only reason that they can't do it is because they have to take that loan and they have to be able to package it to whoever is going to purchase the loan as a solid investment. For everybody else, you're shooting between a 620 and a 640, and honestly, I think you should go closer to a 640 for credit score. A couple of things you want to pay attention to with your credit if you do hit a 640 is, one, the credit score that you see on Credit Karma is probably not the same score that your lender is going to use. Lender scores are FICO scores. They are not Vantage scores. So your Credit Karma score is probably not your mortgage score, so be aware of that. Lenders have what's called overlays. There's certain stipulations when you get a 640 score that you still have to meet. One of them being, there's a certain number of collections that you cannot have, like a certain amount. Some of them are like $2,000, some of them are $1,000, some of them are, hey, you can't have collections at all. But for people who are first-time home buyers, typically that's what you want to pay attention. Make sure your collection balances are really low. All right, guys, that's it. You are not out of the realm of buying a house. It's just going to take a little bit of sacrifice and attention, and you'll get there. Seriously, most of my clients are house qualified within a year of coming to us. If you're trying to get a home this year and you need to repair your credit ASAP, call me, 757-356-5756. We'll get you right.